There we go. Okay, so it's a little ways past 7 o'clock, and I'm sat here in my office doing my free Zoom call of the week. Only this week it's really special because I have a guest, and I'm really delighted to have Louise Cavell, I'm going to say that right, joining me this evening because well, actually, we've only just met in the last few weeks. And when I say met, I mean like this online. So we haven't yet met in person. Um, but yeah, I've just been really inspired by the work that Louise is doing and has done recently. And we got chatting, and I thought it would be a nice idea for us to kind of have a conversation online because, well, actually, I'm really interested in Louise's story. All I know for the moment is that Louise is an occupational therapist. She's a Reiki practitioner and an author and a coach. So, yeah, and like I said, we met, I don't know, a month ago or something in an online community. And Louise recently did a workshop that I wasn't able to attend, but I heard about the planning and everything. So it was just really inspiring. And I invited Louise to come along and kind of be my first guest on the Zoom call because as we move into the new year, I'm hoping to do more of these kind of interviews. So I'm going to quieten down now and I'm going to hand over to Louise. And would you like to just tell us a little bit about yourself, how you come to be, well, where you are now, actually, sat here chatting to me?
Mm. Yeah, I'd love to. And thank you for the invitation. It's quite honored to be your first one or guinea pig or whatever. Yeah, it's wonderful. So yeah, great idea. So a little bit about me and maybe how I got here. So I think in the past I've always somehow mentored people. I always seemed to have had that kind of role. When I was very young, I was like an assistant guide leader and then a rainbow leader
Oh,
and
wow.
that sort of thing. And then I went to America to be an au pair. And I actually stayed there for 10 years. But it seems like in every job that I've had, even when I worked at the bank when I was 17, I seemed to somehow take people under my wing and sort of help them along and mentor them. And I just seem to have that knack somehow. So that's interesting. And then I've worked with people, long-term unemployed people, helping them get back into work. I've been an IT trainer. I've been an NVQ assessor. Oh, they're all the same, it's
Yeah.
weird. I never kind of noticed it as I was going along, but it just seemed to be my thing. Um, and then I had children, two boys, which are wonderful beings.
Mhm.
And and then after I was at home and I wanted to do something else, and I found occupational therapy. So I started uni probably about 36 years old, and I was probably the only person in my family to go to uni. So that was quite cool. And it's just the best thing I've ever done. Really cool. And in that journey, I think around 2015, I came across the three principles, and I went and sort of did a training course with it with a guy called David Key.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
you've heard of him, yep.
Yes, I have. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
excellent. Yeah. So I did the transformational coach practitioner certificate with him,
Okay.
which is kind of interesting because of the way the three principles is essentially everything we do and everything we say and everything we think is made up. So the fact that you have a certificate is kind of just silly, silly,
I
really.
never thought of
But
it like that. I never
yeah,
thought of it like
yeah.
that. I mean,
But
some people actually who are listening may not may not know or have heard of the three principles.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah.
would you like to tell us a little? Not, please don't try and explain them,
No. No.
but
I'll
it
do it
might
in
be
my,
helpful just to let people
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
who kind of where it was born, if you like, or where
Yeah.
the name came from. And
Yeah. So there was a guy called Sydney Banks who I believe lived in Canada, near Vancouver, and he had an enlightened moment, like an epiphany, but it was massive. Um, you know, lights and everything, which people don't normally have, but he just realized that it's all thought. He was, he didn't like his job, he didn't get on with his wife, everything was kind of grumpy. He was a grumpy Scottish guy. And then and then he just kind of woke up and was, wow, it's just all thought. It's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
And also, but much, much deeper than that as well. He sort of realized that we are all from the same source. We're all
Hmm.
energy, deeper than that, really. And then he just changed sort of nearly overnight, and the people at work would almost didn't recognize him because he was so different. And then he just started to kind of gently talk to, because people will say, what's happened to you? Kind of, and he would just kind of talk about things. And eventually he would have like loads of people come to his house and he would do talks. And it was a bit in the 70s, it was a bit almost like a retreat or something that
Yeah,
he,
yeah,
he
yeah,
sort of
yeah,
created. But
yeah.
he also had some books written. So the message that he, was trying to get out. Initially, he tried to speak to psychologists and psychiatrists in that arena because it just changes everything.
Mm,
Because of most psychology and psychiatry come from kind of a Freudian background
yeah,
where whatever's happened, let's analyze that. Let's pick that apart. Let's break it down and take it back. Is it from your childhood? What happened? And you could just regurgitating all this trauma and
yeah, yeah.
everything. And um,
So how did you come across it?
how did I? Yeah, I'm waffling. How
No,
did
no,
I?
no, it's fine.
How did I come across it? Well, uh, funnily enough, David Key. I'd been on a week. I did a training for NLP.
Okay,
But I really, really enjoyed that. That was massive. And then one time he sent an email out and he was talking about George Pransky.
okay, yeah. One of
And
my
so
favorite
yeah,
authors.
and so I thought, oh, who's that? So I looked him up and just something just grabbed me and I was like, oh my God. I don't know, it just really hit me and I just couldn't get enough. I was searching and searching and listening to, I remember ironing one Sunday night, listening to Dr. Bill Pettit
Yes.
and thinking, what is this man talking about? I have no, could be Chinese. I have no idea what he's saying. But I couldn't let it go. I just had to keep taking more and
Yeah,
more and more. It's just
yeah.
amazing.
I love that because my uh I stumbled across the three principles, and very similar in that I was listening, but I couldn't understand what they were talking about. It was like it wasn't like a sort of foreign language. It was just like I couldn't articulate it. So,
Yeah,
and I knew something had changed in
yeah,
me, but when
yeah.
I tried to talk about it,
Yeah.
I was speaking Chinese.
Yeah. Yeah. That's so true.
Yeah.
Because my husband was, walked by and said, "Is this a cult?" Because it just didn't really make any sense. I'm like, "No," but I couldn't, yeah, I couldn't let it go. And one day, this was like probably after a few months, but he said to me, "You've changed." And I said, "Oh, thank you. Have I?" I was amazed that he said that because I was so different. And
So tell us a bit more about the difference. So what was different? What?
everything. So I was, I've always been I think a fairly positive person. Um, but I'd had health issues over the years, and that became my identity, that I am this condition and I can't do this and I can't do that, and it worries me and depressed. I was told I was clinically depressed, so I really thought I'm stuck with that.
Yeah,
I don't know how I'm going to go till I'm elderly. How am I going to, and the kids, I would shout at my husband, shout at the kids like a red mist. And there were times when I would literally so angry that I couldn't be in my own body. I can't even explain it. Didn't want to be in this, and I would get in the car and drive off, which is quite dangerous if you're very angry, really. I shouldn't have done that. And my husband and my mum were like ringing each other, oh, where is she? Where is she? Horrendous, horrendous. I'm so ashamed, but that's kind of where I was then. And yeah, just everything changed because I suddenly could see. Um, like I'll be ranting and raving. And when you have that thing where you're having a conversation with somebody who's not actually with you,
yeah, yeah.
you did this and you did that, and why don't this and da da da, and I told you all that. I was going, and I'm like, and I just realized one day he's not even in the house.
I
And I'm,
I love that. I mean, that's so true. That in fact, I've again, it's something I've talked about and I've written a little booklet about. That I don't know, you're driving home thinking about something, having a conversation with your partner, and about, in my case, when I really noticed it, it was about something I wanted to do that I thought he wouldn't want me to do
yeah, okay.
because it was expensive or it would do this or
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah,
so I'm having a conversation in my head
yeah,
with, you know,
yeah.
it, it totally on my own, and then I get home and I kind of, park the car and I stomp up the
Right.
garden path and go into the kitchen and it's like, he's like, "Hi, darling, have you had a good day?" And I'm like, "No," because I'm furious
With
with
him.
with him already because in my head he
Yeah,
hasn't, we've had this conversation and we've had this terrible argument, but
yeah,
it
yeah. It hasn't happened.
hasn't really happened.
No, it's amazing. And
It
there have
is, isn't
been
it?
other things as well, like at work. And I'm, oh, the things that would go through my head, people don't like me, just, this imposter syndrome, all this. I'm no good at my job. How did I get this job? When will they find out that I can't do the job? All this stuff. And people do things different to me. Am I doing it wrong? Just beating myself up at all hours of the day. It was just sort of horrendous. Um, uh, and one of the biggest things that I realized is that everybody is walking around in their own reality made by their own thoughts. So you have no idea, what people are thinking in any moment. And so it's just so because I would like walk into an office and I would pick up on like a vibe or something and think, well, something's gone down here, and everybody would go quiet. And well, obviously they must have been talking about me because I was really insecure. But there's probably nothing to do with me at all. Maybe, they'd just been given a memo and they didn't like it or whatever. I don't know. But I would just make all this stuff up.
I
And
know, I know.
it's crazy.
It is. I mean, this. I think what, as you're talking, I'm just nodding away really because I'm yes, 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 and it's almost it's like a shock, isn't it, when you suddenly realize that you don't that that's what you're listening to
Yeah,
and that you don't you just think it's you think it's you.
yeah,
Like
you do.
and so you think that's who you are.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd really do.
And
And
it's
yeah,
yeah, and you believe it because
you
you
do.
think I remember um I did my first program with Nicola Bird, who ran programs mostly for people with anxiety and depression and that sort of thing.
Yeah,
But I remember the first time, the first program I did, because I got very guarded. Like I didn't even want to say I think anymore. I tried
yeah,
to stop thinking.
yes,
Did you try that?
yes.
I think
That impossible.
impossible. Because I was like, well, I mustn't think anymore. And I remember having a conversation. I mean, this was a few years ago. I think we were on Skype, so it
Oh,
wasn't.
wow.
It was before Zoom anyway, and I couldn't speak because I thought that she would judge everything I said as being thinking. So
Yeah,
I was totally tongue-tied.
yes, yes,
But even with that misunderstanding about what I was hearing, something still changed.
yeah,
And that's what I found, I just look back and I find that amazing because in spite of the fact that intellectually I couldn't kind of grasp what was going on, something landed.
yeah,
And I think, I don't know what you think about this, but I think it's because I knew because it was true.
yeah,
It was like I was hearing something I already knew, really,
yeah, yeah,
but I'd forgotten,
yes,
or I was asleep, or I was.
yeah.
And you said earlier that you woke up,
Mm.
and it is like that, isn't it?
It is like that, yeah. And some people it's literally overnight, but a lot of people it's like snippets and then another snippet and oh, and then it just makes you look at things differently again. The more you see what you're doing to yourself, the fun it's funny. I find it funny. I used to find I didn't in the beginning. I think I found it. I was almost upset with myself that I'd done that to myself my whole life, and what a waste. But actually, no, not at all, because I knew that through life there had been times when I really listened to my intuition, and that is what we're talking about, essentially, our truth and it comes from the inside. And your busy mind that's the outside stuff, isn't it? So it's but I know we talked the other day, and I think I I don't think I'd have got here without all the other stuff that I've been through in life, you know. And it was all innocently
Yeah.
not knowing how that you were creating situations.
And I think that's really beautiful, actually, when you start to see it, because again, I resonate with that as well. I felt for a while I was, um, ashamed, and I was just like, all, not just to myself, but to other people, you know.
Yeah,
But then again, as you start to see more, I started to understand more about why I did the things I did. And therefore, with that understanding or understanding it more, because I'm sure I don't understand it all totally. But with more understanding, it's almost like, you get compassion and
God,
you forgive yourself because you're like, and then you even see, like I started to see, because I've had some crazy moments, you know. My go-to was running away as well, fast
okay,
cars, motorbikes even,
right,
planes. I mean, across countries, I
wow,
ran away. Yeah, that was yeah. I used to get myself into some right scrapes, but I can see that in the moment,
it made sense.
all exactly, it just made sense, and it was the
Yeah,
best I could come up with. And
yeah.
you just have to go, yeah, well, your best, it was a bit. Some people's best is not very best.
No,
That's
I,
just it.
yeah. Now you've said that, I resonate with that because that's why I went to America to be a nanny. It's because I, I found it difficult. My home situation was hard. Um, Different bits and bobs. I hated my job. I couldn't, I suppose I couldn't see anywhere to go, so I kind of really went away. But that was interesting too, because whilst I was in America, kind of found myself. That was an amazing experience because growing up, I'd been very shy at school, and I was kind of stuck in this persona that I didn't really feel was me, but people thought that's who I was. So when I went to America, I kind of was just me. And eventually, when I came back, oddly, I almost reverted back to the person I was at school, like shy. And but I could kind of see it happening. Very weird. Um, and that's the thing, isn't it? You can look back and think, yeah, those were the times when it made sense to me. Maybe my intuition, my gut was saying, get out of here. It's true, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was, I think you said to me earlier that you came across the three principles about 10 years ago. So time flies, doesn't it? It was not quite as long for me. It was about 2017 or 18, I think, after an illness, funnily enough. But
Okay. Yeah.
um, so tell us now, that's kind of before the three principles, or also known as, I like this better, the inside out understanding. I love that.
Yeah, I like that too. Yeah, because yeah.
So tell us a bit about now. What's how does tell us about Louise now?
Well, Louise now I hardly recognize, even though I feel like I'm coming into myself. Is that, if that makes sense? Like I'm blossoming into, oh, this is me. Actually,
Right.
now this is me. And so, like the last couple of years, I just feel like I'm becoming, I don't know, visible, or allowing myself to just relax. And if I want to talk to people, I talk to people. And whereas I kind of always hid all the time, well, nobody wants my opinion, but now I'm like, I've got an opinion on that too, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's my age as well, I don't know, but it's definitely, and I can see I can see everything so much more clearly. The people that I meet in my job, people with complex needs in their homes, oh, I just want to hug them and
Mm.
shake them and let me tell you about this thing, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
because I can just see how much pain people are in, and they don't need to be in that much pain. Yes, I understand. Obviously, people have pain, they have illnesses, they have trauma, and it's not getting rid of any of that, but it's just saying that actually, there is another way of being, which is not quite so painful. and and I just and I'm able to laugh at myself because I everybody has low moments, you know, up down up down
Yeah,
up down,
yeah, yeah,
and but now I can see it much more clearly, more quickly as well. Oh, I'm doing that again. Or I'll say to my family, oh, do you know, I feel grumpy, but I don't know why, but just ignore me. And then I sort of think, well, there's a reason behind it. It's not life. It's maybe I didn't get enough sleep. Maybe I haven't drunk enough water. Maybe I haven't eaten enough vegetables. You know, there's some other reason why I'm doing that, but that's okay because I know it will pass. That's the absolute golden nugget is it will pass.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
huge.
I know that because I had some quite severe episodes of um uh, depression, I suppose. It's shut down,
Yeah.
breakdown, really. I can't
Yeah.
even say it actually. But when
Oh,
I stopped functioning,
yeah.
like, uh, I couldn't speak or eat and when you're in that, it feels like forever. And
Yeah.
I remember the feeling of anxious doesn't get it, doesn't, it was terror that I
Yeah.
was it there and that I'd never get out of it. And I haven't never gone back to that. And there's still ups and downs and grumpy and
Yeah.
but they're not as down and they're not this, I don't stay there as long
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I don't worry about being down
Yes. Yes.
because like you say, it's the weather.
Yeah.
It'll pass.
Yeah.
And I think that is probably that's one of the most kind of hopeful things that I grasped in the
Yeah.
beginning, although I wasn't that aware of it. I think that's probably when I think back, that's what I heard. One of the things I
Yeah.
heard right in the
Yeah.
very beginning, and I went, "Oh my God, yes."
Yeah. Yeah. Because I remember, Dr. Bill Pettit, and I didn't understand what he was talking about, and I was crying. I was like, what did he just say? I've no idea. And I just, like you say, it just touched something inside that was like, this is true. This is really true. You know, it it's all,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, this has been lovely talking to you. So I'm not sure how long we've been on, probably longer than we think. What I'd like to do is just tell us just because I've told everyone about your book.
Oh, yes.
So it'd be really lovely. Have you got a copy there?
I have.
So I've got it on Kindle.
Oh,
So,
lovely. Yeah.
um, but yeah, so you must be really proud.
I am really proud. And like you say, if you'd have said to me last January, guess what you'll be doing this year? Right, writing a book and running a workshop about like the book launch and about bits in the book running up to Christmas, I'd have just there's no way. There's no way. Because the old me would be like, well, I'm way too shy to do anything like that. That's just not me. There's no way I'd do that. But this is the thing. I've come to realize that it's how to be human, live fully, think freely, and find joy every day. Because that is literally true. Because everything we do, everything we say is just made up. So, if you said, Sharon, you will be writing your book and you're going to publish it in 2026, yes, it will happen. It will happen because you somehow you take the brakes off. And this is a really big thing for me, is I've seen all so many opportunities out there. And I have seen that the more conversations you have, the more things come up and people say, oh, maybe you could talk to so and so, or maybe you could do
Yeah.
this. And I've been invited to talk about my book in all of the libraries in the county. Yeah,
Wow.
That's amazing. And I've been invited to, there's like a Facebook group that's got 20,000 people in it, and they've said, would you like to be author of the month? Yes. And it's amazing. And the place that I did the workshop, she wants me to do another workshop of, publishing your own book. Yeah, how does that work? So that's another opportunity to do. And none of this would ever have, I was just hiding under a rock, basically.
I
So
know,
yeah,
and this is what I wanted, why I wanted to talk to you, because for me this was about it's about before and after.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
about the transformation, which is like nothing has changed on the outside.
No,
You're not a millionaire, and you haven't, you know, the same house, same people, same
yeah,
same job, same,
yeah,
and but there's joy in it.
yeah.
There's life is lighter, isn't it?
Oh yes. Oh my
I
goodness.
mean, it's just less serious. I thought I worked really hard at life.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was constantly trying to be better.
Yes. Oh, the
You know,
comparison thing. Oh my
yeah,
goodness.
yeah, I and I don't want to say that that's completely gone, because that wouldn't be true either.
No.
But I notice when I'm doing that, and I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, where are you going? You know,
Yeah.
and I think because like your mind's quieter, there's just so much more space. You just see, you
Oh,
notice stuff, don't you? It's
oh
just,
my goodness.
and that's why, like, for me, doing this,
Yeah.
however we do it, whether it's conversations like this that I try and get in front of people, or just talking to people, I just want people to know.
I know. That's yeah. Yeah, that's so true. And I think with my occupational therapy background and the inside out thing, that's kind of how I came up with, because there's three pillars: self-care,
Yes.
knowing how the mind works, and then just go do life.
Yeah. And I
Because I
love that
think,
about your book, because it's a holistic look, isn't it?
yeah,
Looking at the kind of physical and the self-care as well.
yeah, because I can see that, it's easier to see all of this and take it in and s- look out if you've got a quieter mind.
Yeah.
And if that means that maybe you have to do a bit of self-care first, then, that's a good thing. It's
Yeah.
always a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, this has been wonderful.
Yeah, it has.
So
Thank you.
I am, what I will do is, we'll pause the recording, but I just want people to know that I will put some notes of where people can contact you, if they want to talk to you more in person or find out about your book or whatever, and I'll put links for your book. But I just want to say a huge thank you. I hope it's been fun, because I know you were a bit nervous, and I was too, actually.
Yes. Yeah.
So
No, it's been wonderful. I
I
really enjoyed it. I think we
yeah,
do we do have a connection. I find it easy that we can talk to each other easy. It's
yeah,
lovely.
no, it's been
Thank
really,
you.
really good. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go over and out, and I'm going to quit the recording and say goodbye to everybody. And see if I can find the button that stops the recording. So bye for now.
Bye bye. Thank you.